Hi, everyone, and welcome to our series. We are highlighting ways that people are fostering mental health. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, May, and I have a guest today that I'm really excited to have on. This is Nick DiCorpo. He's a senior in high school. Nick, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, so my name's Nick. Next year I'm going to Colgate University. I like cross country. I like to run, swim, and hang out with friends.
Awesome. And we know that we're hitting this pandemic time. You guys had quite a challenge in terms of you left for spring break and ended up online learning. So,
Yeah.
what were you thinking when that happened?
I mean, I gotta say, honestly, I didn't think Corona would be this huge now, or not now, but during spring break. And um, I could never imagine it would go into online classes, which is just crazy.
Yeah, I know they were talking about it a little bit before, but I think it was so shocking how everybody sort of changed their way of thinking so quickly. Um,
Yeah.
and how difficult that was. What kind of things are you doing since you got back and since you started the online learning? What do you think? Tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Well, basically every day I have Zoom classes. Um, so I usually just wake up and I go to my Zoom classes. Um, and then I like to have lunch with my friends over Zoom and finish my Zoom classes in the afternoon. But then after, I like to get in the schedule of working out after school, kind of keep me in a routine, keep me occupied. So I work out after school, and then I take a quick shower and I have dinner with my family, which is really nice. And then after dinner, I finish my homework and play Call of Duty with some friends.
I think that we were talking a little bit about that sometimes that can be like Groundhog Day,
Totally. It can totally be like Groundhog Day. It's just one big loop.
but yet that routine kind of helps us keeps us staying together, that having and Nick was in a neuroscience class that I did at his school, that we talked about the ant tools. We talked about how the brain needs certain things to stay healthy, and routine is a big thing to help the brain, because then we know what to expect. Has
Totally.
that been helpful?
It's been so helpful. If I wasn't in the schedule, I feel like I'd just be laying in bed all day, watching Netflix, kind of my brain slowly turning to mush. Um, so it's really nice to be in a schedule. I feel like I kind of know how my day is gonna go, and um, it's like kind of a motivation to keep up with this schedule to like kind of make me feel, happy and occupied.
How is the online learning going?
It's pretty good. At first, I wasn't a huge fan of it because, I mean, even though we're seeing each other and even though we're talking, it doesn't even come close to like that real personal connection.
Yeah.
But big props to St. Luke's because they're doing a great job with these Zoom classes. I mean, they try and keep us like engaged and learning. They have like fun activities after school. I think there was a magician that came last week, I think,
Yeah.
which is pretty interesting. And just a couple minutes ago, we had the yearbook ceremony
Mhm.
where they show our yearbook and they show like the senior athletes and the senior scholars and the whole senior class, and also the teacher dedication. So even though we're not there, they're still doing a good job to making sure like we're all kind of feeling a little bit more normal.
Yeah. I think that it's so important. When we talked about those end tools, we talked about the routine, but also those social connections, um,
Totally.
and making sure that you're getting an opportunity, particularly that adolescent brain with those relationships. And that's such a critical piece.
Right.
How else are you connecting with people?
Um, well, I'm so glad I actually have my family. Like I miss my friends, of course, but I'm so glad I have my family here with me.
Hmm.
Usually my dad's away in Florida where he works, so he comes back on weekends. And my brother goes to Taft boarding school. He's a freshman there. So This past year I didn't see him a lot, so it's kind of nice. It's kind of a bittersweet kind of time because it's my last year like at home before I leave for college. So I get to have my whole family here, all the time, which is pretty nice. But for friends, usually we have Zoom lunch, which is really fun, and then we play like video games together, and we go on a Discord and just like talk for hours.
I think one of the things that's been so interesting is the switch because and my kids, I'm constantly saying, too much screen time. But then now it's that switch over of even though you're doing more screen time than usual, it's like, yeah, get on with your friends, get on with your friends. And
Yeah,
screen time is a way to connect. And that's so important.
right.
It's
Totally.
just figuring out the best way to do it. And I have a feeling we're all going to have back and neck problems after that.
Of course, I could already feel my spine like kind of crooked from hunching over a computer all day.
Yeah, one of the things, I was on a call the other day, and there was a physical therapist, and she was getting on everybody's cases that you need to make sure. She said, anybody who's looking down, you've got a problem with your neck. She said, make sure that you lift up your computer and have it that you're looking straight. Um,
That's interesting.
it really does make a difference. Actually, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, maybe I'll
So
do that.
I think in terms of physical health, that's a big thing because when we feel physically healthier, we feel mentally healthier as well. Our brains feel better. I know that a lot of people have been having headaches from that as well. So
Yeah.
taking care of that.
But that's also like talking about that like physical health is beneficial for your mental health. And that's why I try and work out every day or at least like 6 times a week because I kind of get that release of like dopamine and and adrenaline and endorphins from
Yep.
working out. I usually do like cardio, like Peloton or elliptical.
Hmm.
Um, so I get like a good sweat on. I get those chemicals, and it makes me feel pretty great and pretty happy throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah, I definitely think the exercise, and I think it's very interesting because I think a lot of people are using this opportunity to get into a little bit better shape, which is
Right.
just kind of nice, using that
Yeah.
exercise. And that's another one of those hand tools. You're hitting all of them. You're hitting all the things that make your brain feel better.
That's perfect.
I know it's a really tough time because senior spring. There's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. How are you thinking that, I know that they're still planning on graduation day being the same day, not the ceremony necessarily, but you will be a graduate and that's coming up. Um,
Yeah.
you excited for that?
I am excited. And even though it's at home and like we're doing classes online, um, it still kind of feels like I'm graduating, It feels like normal, I guess. It doesn't feel like, whatever, like I'm graduating. You know what I mean? It feels more of like a normal, how it would feel if I was actually at school, which I think is pretty nice.
I think you guys are doing a milestone. It's a big thing. It really is. And I think that everybody understands that this is a tough way to do it. So there are
Mhm.
a lot of people that are making a lot of efforts for the seniors, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and I totally appreciate all the teachers and the faculty at my school who are putting in the work and trying to make, our senior year or senior spring, I should say, um, as enjoyable as it can be.
Yeah. I also think that we'll get to the point in the summer and you guys will be able to plan some celebrations that'll be pretty
Totally.
awesome.
That's just what I keep thinking about, if I ever feel like a little bit down about how, the senior spring is not how I was expecting it to be, I just think about when all this is over, what me and my friends are going to do, how we're going to, you know, hang out, like just imagining the first time we all see each other again in person. It's going to be so awesome. Can't wait.
I think we're going to appreciate hugs a lot more.
So much more. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I think that that's one of the things that I'm getting out of this is that we really will appreciate that human touch, that physical being able to run up to each other and give each other hugs. So
Right.
I'm
And
looking
I
forward.
think this experience has, at least for me, made me realize how much I take for granted with that time with like friends, like outside of school. Because I mean, I never would have thought it'd be like this, like we're just be quarantined in our houses for a couple months. So this time has really made me realize not to take those moments for granted, to like enjoy and to cherish every moment I can get with, my friends outside of school.
Yeah. I think that we're all realizing that and appreciating that time with our family, but also appreciating those times that we could get out and see other people too.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining me. I love that we're highlighting, things that people can be doing, and what's important for brain health. And you're doing a lot of it. And I love that you've got the positive attitude. You're looking at the positives. And the another ant tool that you just hit was gratitude, and
Mhm.
and appreciating the time that we have. So you got a lot of that. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.